And okay, so basically what we're going to do is kind of have some fun. We're going to recap the season. We're going to go through, the season-ending awards, and then we're going to do some fun stuff and make fun of people,
Yeah.
which is always fun. But
Woohoo!
first of all, we have the two finalists are on tonight, and James, congratulations, finally winning the title.
Thank you. It wasn't easy, and there was a lot of luck involved, but I'm very humble. And Joe, it wasn't easy, but you know, uh, I'm sorry you lost, but it was a tough game.
I gave you a good run for your money.
You damn right you did, especially when I fucked up with playing the wrong defense between Steelers and Redskins. So.
Did want to point out. I will say this much. Since we formed the Central Division, I don't know if anybody's knows, but since we formed went to three divisions and started the Central Division champs won every championship, 3 years in a row now.
Oh, gee, Mike.
Yeah, and here's another interesting fact. They beat a South team every single time. A North team hasn't been in the championship since 2013 now. All
Don't
those
tell
North
Glenn, he
people
might
up
get
here.
mad.
Yeah, well, and Joe, I mean, just to wrap up, I mean, I would say it's kind of sting losing in the championship two times in 3 years, but
It does. At least I know my team's been good enough to get there.
well, and you get money for
Yep.
getting there, and at least this time you made a game out of it. Last time you got blown out completely. Your team was complete horseshit. So,
But Mike, let's be honest, my team was also a little bit horse shit.
your team scored 130 points in each of the three playoff games, which is above average. I wouldn't call
Really?
that. Yeah, I mean, the average team scores like 126 or so.
All right.
So,
But I mean, going into the playoff, I was looking like garbage.
no, but you know what? You got there, and honestly, once you're there, whoever scores a lot, your team did well 3 weeks in a row in the 3 weeks of the playoffs. I mean,
Everything's different in the postseason, Jimmy Pop.
yeah, really doesn't matter at that point.
Thank you, Joe. I mean, I wouldn't know. I've never been this far until now. So, at least you've been there 3 times, at least.
Just don't pull a Jordan on us.
I don't think. Well,
He doesn't have the
I doubt
players
it.
to do that.
Yeah, I really don't. Outside of A-Rod, I really don't.
The thing we're forgetting is Jordan.
Crazy trades.
Well, when you're thinking going back to like when Jordan won in 2010, people forget Jordan's team in 2010 was one of the best teams in this league ever had.
By luck.
But it was luck. It was luck, but he ended up with a lot of good players.
He ended up with a quarterback that brought him in like 35 points a week.
Yeah,
because he ran for touchdowns every week.
And he had Michael Vick, and guess what? He made one of the most lopsided trades that he actually won that trade. You gotta remember, that was the infamous Woj traded Vick to Jordan for. You remember who Woj got in return?
Nope.
Mark Sanchez.
Oh.
I think it is the most lopsided trade ever that we've had.
Over my infamous trade, Michael?
Yes, even over your trading Calvin Johnson to Glenn.
That wasn't the trade I was talking about, but still.
The Brady trade?
Yep.
Yeah, way more lopsided than that.
What difference is? Yeah, and then guess what? It wasn't really lopsided because when it came down to it, Brendan played Brady in the playoffs, and it blew up in his face.
Yep.
So.
Wait, Mike, can you say that one more time?
Wait, no, I already said it once. Once is enough.
All right.
Why so salty, Mike?
So we're gonna go with awards now. We're just gonna go through the awards we usually pick year to year. I put up, we got 5 nominees for each one. We're going to go through these really quick and start with the top players for each position. You can vote for your own guys if you want to play favorites. Starting at quarterback, there are We've got 5 nominees on the screen, and for me, easy pick. I think it's an easy pick for me. And sorry to your buddy James, but I think Drew Brees gets top quarterback by far. I don't think there's even a questioning. Brees, and I don't even think Joe expected Brees to play as well as he did this year. Brees was
I
outstanding.
actually did. That's why I drafted him when I did.
Well, I'm sorry. You're really smart then, apparently. Brees. There's no way you expected him to put up numbers like he did 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, I fully expected it.
All right. Well.
Larry's on the call.
Hello, Lawrence. Mike's
So
gonna
Larry's.
get kicked.
What's that?
Mike's gonna get kicked off.
Yeah, I know. They did that on purpose.
I sent you a text about that, by the way.
Yeah, and I put my phone like down.
Hello, Justine.
Hello.
You're crashing the stream.
Yeah.
Thanks. Actually, it's running. It's still running at the moment. So maybe you didn't for once. Maybe my computer. It's finally working well. In any case, I'm picking Brees for the best quarterback. James, you can go ahead.
I'll go Breeze.
Joe?
Oh, I drafted the guy for a reason, so I mean I vote for Reese.
All right. Muscats?
I vote Cousins.
To be a jerk.
No, I think it's good value. I like picking quarterbacks late.
All right. Good vet. I will say that, for all the morons who picked the quarterback, Eli Manning.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I got. We're going to bring up the draft board in a little bit and make fun of some of the idiotic picks people made, but Kirk Cousins was an awesome pick. Anyway, Justine.
No, I'm gonna go with you guys on Breeze.
All right. We're flying ahead to running back now.
Kevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman is not on the list for good reason.
Damn it.
Tevin Coleman is not on the list, nor is any of James's running backs because
they suck.
Because they suck ass. This is another easy one for me. I'm picking David Johnson, even though I think, at least in our league, he got his whole season was wasted because Glenn had really bad luck. But he had a ridiculous season. Unfortunately, as I said, Glenn's season stunk. So, James.
Give me Zeke.
Going with Zeke. Ugh. I see, and I'm gonna see, and I should be favoring Zeke, but I'm not because I say I don't think he's as good as the numbers he puts up, and that's coming from me. But
He doesn't have to be. He just has to have a good line to run behind.
well, that's the thing. But in any case, Joe, who do you go with?
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, honestly, I'm not picking my own guy, but I was between Johnson and Bell.
You gotta pick one.
I don't want to pick one. Give
All right.
half and half.
All right, half and half then. Justine, are you gonna pick your guy?
Yeah, I'll stand behind my boy.
You're gonna stand behind Bell.
Yeah.
All right, Larry.
I pick Bell.
I'm picking Bell.
Because he's a beat.
Hey, Bell got 2.5 votes.
And he's also your wife's running back, but
Yeah. You don't get any brownie points for picking meaningless awards, Larry.
or do you?
No, Larry had him in his work league, so he was rooting for Bell too for his own personal.
Gandhi, that fucktard.
So it kind of was a win-win all season. We would both just root for Bell every time they played.
Yeah, except we're gonna get to that in a little bit when we make fun of people. I'll get to the whole Bell thing.
Mike, no Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks is not on here because he.
Whoa.
No, because there are better wide receivers. James, you don't have very many guys on here at all until we get to playoff MVP, and that's only because of the by default.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. So
Thank you, Mike.
I will say this: wide receiver. I am picking favorites and picking Julio Jones, even though he probably does not deserve top wide receiver this year, because he did not have as good of a year as last year. And if I weren't picking Julio Jones, I'd probably pick Mike Evans just because he wasn't expected to have the year he did, but he was outstanding for John. I think Justine is kind of kicking herself for not keeping him, but So
It happens.
what's that?
It happens.
Yeah. James, you cannot pick Brandon Cooks here.
No, that's fine. I'll pick Antonio Brown. Brendan, bro.
Brendan's
I love
only,
you, Brendan.
Brendan's only player.
Love you, Brendan.
Joe.
Oh, I'm picking Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Larry.
I'm picking Mike Evans.
Justine.
Yeah, I think I took him back.
Mike Evans. Yeah, just like Julio, James Brown did not have as good of a year this year as last year. Even though it's not really saying a whole lot. All right, James, this is your category, your one and only category, tight end. Because James was so good at this position, apparently he has two people here because double tight end thing. And I am going to pick one of James's guys. I'm going to go with Greg Olsen only because tight end was very strange this year in that tight ends really dropped off. Olsen was pretty much the only real steady guy I felt the entire season. You can tell tight ends really dropped off this year. I ended up putting Jason Witten on the list, Mr. Run 5 yards and then stand there and catch the ball for a 5-yard gain and get tackled. All right, James, what do you want?
Give me Greg Olsen there,
Greg
Bob.
Olsen. Joe, you going with your guy Graham or somebody else?
I'm going with my boy Greg Olsen.
Going with Greg Olsen?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Muscat?
James beat me out of getting him this year.
Jordan Reed.
Guy that can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
Guy with the bum shoulder. Right. Justine.
Wait,
He's a beast.
the guy that won me the division.
Yeah, and
with
then
the bum shoulder.
And then you played him in the playoffs, and he did absolutely nothing.
But
Didn't he get you a 0?
He did, but also in the championship game, Robbie Anderson gave me a 0.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother thing entirely. But Justine.
I'm gonna go with the majority and go with Greg Olsen.
My favorite category is kicker. I'm going with Dan Bailey because Dallas Cowboys. Go Cowboys.
Boo.
James, you even your team is you actually don't even have a kicker on here. That's where your team is at. But,
Birthright. I'll go Mason Crosby.
just to give Birthright something to cheer about this year.
Exactly.
Joe.
Joey!
Joe's too busy watching Cops.
Sorry, I got distracted. I'm gonna go with Hoska.
Hauschka.
Larry.
Went with what's Josh Lambo.
Josh Lambo's not on the list. He
He
stinks.
is right in.
Right in. Okay. That doesn't count. Justine can go ahead. Hauschka for the win. And defense before we get to some semi-important awards.
The Vikings!
I am not going with the Vikings because they were only good for about the first half of the season and then sucked.
Then why are they in this?
Because they were really good the first half of the season.
But they weren't in the second half.
Well, I don't even know why you're talking like that in that voice, but I'm picking Broncos. James.
Certain coach Mike Ditka would go a certain Seattle Seahawks.
You're just voting for Chris's players.
All right, fine. I'll go New England Patriots.
All right, that's better. Joe?
All right.
I'm gonna go with Denver.
Yeah, I figured that. Larry?
Patriots.
You're the tiebreaker, Justine.
Oh God. I hate being the tiebreaker. Why do I always go last?
I'm just going right down the line here. You just happen to be furthest on the right.
Who voted for who?
And me and Joe voted for the Broncos. James and Larry voted Patriots.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Ooh. Boo.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Rookie of the year. I don't even think this should be a discussion. If Zeke Elliott, and I know I just bashed Zeke Elliott, but Zeke Elliott was freaking ridiculous this year. So he's absolutely rookie of the year.
Zeke.
James is Zeke. Joe?
I don't know these guys, so I don't really know.
Joe players in the NFL don't start existing to Joe until they have at least 4 years experience. So
Pretty much. I mean, I actually didn't even watch a single NFL game this year.
I know, you've told us plenty of times.
Hey, just by the way, everybody made fun of Mo for picking Zeke. And
Nobody
look what
made
Zeke
fun
did.
of. I didn't make fun of her. I would have done the same thing.
There was
Who did that? Who said that?
First pick of the draft, Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
I feel like a few people had some choice words.
No.
I did, because I didn't know who he was.
Nobody did.
I don't remember this. Do you guys remember this, Larry?
No, not at all.
I think everybody thought she was doing the right thing. Yeah.
All right, I might be wrong.
There might have been Mr. Birthright, had a few comments to say.
You are wrong. Yeah, maybe him, but he doesn't count.
Yeah.
And
he has and he went 1-12, so he has no right to count on anything.
I'm going to side with James. I'll go with Sterling Shepard.
Whoa!
Sterling. Oh, I can't believe Larry.
I don't know who the guy is, but I'll vote for him.
Thank you, Joe.
Dak Prescott.
Dak. I will say this, Dak. A certain somebody picked that drafted Dak in the 18th round, and then promptly dropped them after he lost to the Giants in Week 1.
That wouldn't be Brendan, would it?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
Justine.
Elliot.
Okay. Sorry, Larry, your upset pick doesn't win.
No.
All right, this is my favorite, owner of the year. So, James, I know you won the championship. And, congratulations on that and everything. Oh, by the way, just as an FYI, you can't vote for yourself on this one.
Oh, darn.
I know you won the whole championship and everything, James. However, I'm picking Joe because I think Joe would still beat your team 4 out of 5 times. And just last week, which just ended up being one of the 5 times he wouldn't beat you.
You know what? I'll vote Joe as well.
There's no cash prize for getting this award if you get it, by the way.
Darn.
Sorry.
You're supposed to incentivize everyone, Mike.
Maybe we'll attach it maybe next year. We'll attach some type of prize. Who are you voting for, Joe?
Darn it, Chris isn't on there.
He is not on there. I only put people who made the playoffs on there because, so you can't fuck around.
But Chris made the toilet bowl, didn't he?
He lost the toilet bowl, which shouldn't be a surprise. Just like in the regular season, he lost all 3 consolation round games because,
God damn it, Bear. He could have won Owen.
James.
You're going James?
Yeah, I'm going to throw it to James. He pulled his team together at the end.
Larry?
Thank you, Joe.
I'm giving it to Justine.
Oh, boy, what a shock.
Brownie points.
Petty vote.
Justine, who are you picking?
I'm going with Joe.
All right. All right, so this is playoff MVP. This is your category, James. This is the
All
one
right.
with Brandon Cooks and Tevin Coleman on it.
And don't forget the bad man.
And Rodgers, yes. Yeah, I am going with Aaron Rodgers with this just because, let's be honest, 36 points last week is pretty ridiculous. And that was, even though it ended up, Jordy Nelson got 36 for Joe, so they canceled each other out in the end. I mean, still, I think Rodgers is a good pick. James.
We got to give some Brandon Cooks some love. I'm going Brandon Cooks.
Joe.
I'm going to go with Nelson.
Whoa.
Larry.
I'm going Cooks.
And Justine.
Yeah. And I guess Cook.
The player that beat Justine's ass in week 15. I put that twice. And the last one is MVP. So there's 10 choices. You cannot pick outside, no write-in votes, Larry,
Bullshit.
because your team stunk and doesn't deserve any players on here.
Fuck you.
Sorry. I'm picking, to me, it's obvious. I'm going with David Johnson, even though, again, David Johnson, Glenn just wasted David Johnson's amazing season by losing a lot of his games. But,
Watch Johnson suck next year.
yeah, Glenn Wade is going to waste David Johnson's only good season of his career, probably. And in all fairness, if Glenn didn't have David Johnson, he probably only wins 2 games.
More than
I'm
likely.
pretty sure David Johnson won him 2 or 3 games himself.
With them 45-point games.
Yeah. I mean, Johnson's season was just out of control. So I'm picking Johnson. You can go, James.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't have made it as far as I did if it wasn't for steady quarterback play. I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
This is fantasy MVP, not NFL MVP.
Yeah, I'm going Aaron Rodgers.
All right. Well, Joe.
I'm actually going to go with Melvin Gordon.
Ooh.
Outside the box.
Yeah.
I like it.
Larry.
I'm going with Elliott.
Justine.
Rodgers! Just got double check!
Definitely not Rodgers. I'm sorry.
Whoa.
She's definitely not picking Rodgers just because of that awful, I don't know what that was, screeching.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Just got double check!
I guess I'll go. Crap. There's a lot of good ones. That's tough. I'm gonna go Elliott.
Ooh.
You just picking my people?
We had to give Monique some love.
You're picking your people. Who is your people?
What do you mean, you people?
Are you just rooting for the Dallas
Hey.
Cowboys this year?
Why
Because
would
the Jets are
do
just
that
so
much?
No,
Hey. Let's
Well,
just be on. Let's just be honest. I'm kind of scared of Monique's keepers.
Well, Zeke Elliott, yes, maybe. Melvin Gordon, no. That doesn't scare me.
Really? Okay.
I think Melvin Gordon will have another good year next year.
Nope. No chance. Sorry.
I bet you $1. Like,
I'm not betting any money on Melvin Gordon's 27.
afraid to bet $1.
Are you serious?
Just for the record, Mike is afraid to bet $1.
Oh!
I'm afraid to bet $1. All right, so let's see if I can. I'm going to try and switch over to the draft board now.
Draft.
And this is probably going to crash my computer right now.
Oh, yeah,
More
that's
than likely.
crash it.
And Mike leaves in 5, 4,
Crash it,
Three,
crash it, crash
two,
it.
I'm still here.
one.
I'm still here.
Done.
Darn it.
I'm still
Mike,
here.
Mike, you must have some good internet.
No, I actually don't know why it didn't go out. But
It's a technical fail.
let me see if I can try it now. One thing I was gonna mention, I think this is actually the first draft where nobody drafted anybody completely insane or ridiculous in the first round. Outside of no. All right, if you can find, all right, I see one. Let me try and get this up here. I
We
see
don't see
one.
any up yet.
What's that?
We don't see any because it's not up yet.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get it up. Oh, come on. Stupid thing.
Hey Joe, how's cops?
Still the same funny stuff that they always film. Stupid people trying to run you for doing stupid stuff.
What about crack?
That too. I actually watched a guy get arrested for breaking into a pawn shop, and he had a
How
crack
does-
pipe on him.
Oh, okay, that's how crack plays into that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a crack pipe on him. Oh, that guy almost got run over. That guy doesn't know how to drive.
Hey Larry, you look very stoic right now.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
You
That
look
means he's
very
watching
serious,
NASCAR.
but intellectually.
I'm fighting a war.
Within
What
yourself?
What are you playing? Are you playing Civ right now?
No.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Up my
Justine's laughing at you, Mike.
Yeah, I know.
They're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
ass.
All right, so this is the point where I'm gonna get booted.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Boot Michael. Boot
Boot
Michael.
Oh my god.
Fuck. But why is Gandhi such an asshole?
Don't talk like Mike like that.
Let's talk about Gandhi.
You are
Oh,
playing
yeah.
Civ.
I am.
We
Oh,
are.
you said you weren't.
You believe that?
Fuck Civ.
No way.
I don't know. Civ's kind of addicting.
Kind of addicting?
Kind of addicting.
Extremely addicting.
For married couples.
Anybody who likes any kind of video game ever.
Oh, you're talking about Diablo?
Diablo's alright.
No.
Yeah, that's good too.
Oh, they got a new expansion coming out next month.
Ooh.
Necromancer expansion.
Sounds fun.
Yo, how long is your turn gonna take?
Yo, I'm in a fucking war. Chill.
You have to be in a fucking war too, since I'm your ally.
Justine, Mike or
Yeah.
Larry is not just in a war. He is in a fucking war.
Yo,
Against
Gandhi is a
Gandhi.
bitch.
Gandhi's the worst.
Yeah, he is.
Why? He smells like curry?
No, he declared a
Oh my
war on
god. Oh my god.
warlord. Very good.
Uh-oh, this guy's armed.
Uh-oh.
He's driving. Uh-oh, cops are gonna chase him down.
Wait, why aren't you watching the Orange Bowl?
I am.
Who the hell is the Orange Bowl?
What?
Yeah, Michigan's getting wrecked right now.
Yeah, they are.
Who are they playing,
Why is
Ohio?
he drinking?
Who are they playing, Ohio? Florida State, bro.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that crap.
Michigan's crap.
Chris James, are you drinking yet?
Dude, I'm like 7 beers and 3 shots in.
I left my beer down there. Like it's all the way down there. I can't reach it.
Well, get your ass up and reach it.
First world
Too
problems.
lazy. Don't you understand that, James? I am too lazy. It's all Michael's fault.
Why is
It's
it my
mine.
fault? I'm here.
Because
you-
you're quiet,
can't-
and I felt like blaming somebody.
Plus, you don't have the draft board up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so apparently, the good news is I'm not getting booted. The bad news is I just can't get it up. So,
Best. Can
wait,
you just IM it to us?
can I IM it to you? That's the same if. What the hell does that even mean? IM.
On Facebook. We can pull it up on our side.
Babe, we don't use the name anymore.
Well, you know,
don't
through
know.
Facebook Messenger.
Dude, I don't have Facebook.
why not, Jim?
I got rid of it.
Well, Christine,
Jim,
you
you should just open it up for fantasy season and then just close it.
Can I get it in a text message?
Wait.
Huh?
Let me put it in the. Isn't there a chat box in here?
I don't know. Is there?
Yeah, there should be.
They're moving.
shit. In the league?
Yeah, if you click on group
Oh,
chat.
draft recap. All
Yep,
right.
they got him.
Yeah, if you click on group chat, I just put the link in there.
If I click on group chat,
Yeah, there's like a blue chatty type icon in the left
Oh
hand, top
shit,
left
we're
hand.
going back to clicky draft.
Yeah.
wait, Mike,
were you able to see it, James?
No, I do not see anything. All I see is the All New Jersey Football League logo.
That's what I see on Mike's screen.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my camera's off.
Darn it,
Alright.
Michael.
No, I'm talking. If you put up you don't see a left hand icon in the left hand corner.
No, Mike.
Larry does, right?
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, okay. You brought it.
I got it up.
Okay. All right, that's good enough. All right, so
That's good enough.
that's good enough. Sorry, James.
I had to make Larry laugh over there.
Love these
All right, so Larry, I said there were no absolutely awful draft picks. Where do you see an absolutely awful draft pick in that first round?
in the first round?
Not including
It's
keepers.
kind of hard to pick an awful draft pick.
So technically the third round.
The third round?
Yeah.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Well, with hindsight or at the time?
No, hindsight.
Hindsight, it would be Randall Cobb.
Hey.
Hey, fair. He sucked.
No.
I had him in my work league. He did
Yeah,
nothing.
he did suck. He didn't do a whole lot for me either. To the point that I think I benched him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I
So-
stopped
Yeah, you did, Mike.
ever
Yeah.
since week 10. He's terrible.
Yeah, that's very true. But he wasn't absolutely positively horrible. I'm talking about when you drafted Chris Ivory in the first round a few years ago, Larry, and he got you like 10. He got you like nothing the entire season.
No, I didn't draft Chris Ivory in the first round.
I
I
have it
drafted him
on.
last year. He didn't do that bad.
No, I'm talking. This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Wells?
No, that was even longer ago.
Okay.
You have a lot of bad first. You're good at drafting late in the draft. You're lousy at drafting early in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I remember I was hoping that Cam was going to fall to me.
Yeah. It's
So
a good.
I can take him.
I think Jarvis Landry is a better pick.
Yeah. I would have taken Cam, but I mean, I still liked him over Hyde. Cobb that was a good call. mean, maybe Baldwin. I think Stewart was okay. Yeah, like that middle part of it. It's just kind of weird.
The middle part of what? Like around where?
The fourth, just like the 3-4
Uh,
turn. Because like I didn't really trust Hyde. Cobb wasn't that good.
Yeah, none of those guys ended up panning out. Anderson was playing okay until he got hurt.
Yeah.
Woj Woj's draft. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This Duke, and the funny thing with Duke Johnson was I was upset that Woj took Duke Johnson from me.
Yeah, I remember that. That was awesome.
I was so pissed. If you remember from the draft. But yeah, I mean, Michael Floyd, he didn't even last the entire year of Arizona.
No. Or what was it? Who did he yell at you for? It was
Jeremy Hill,
Giovanni Bernard before Hill.
Chris yelled at me for taking Bernard over Hill because I was taking the backup running back.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just going down the list here, Joe taking Arian Foster. That was not a good pick, Joe.
When?
In the 6th round.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, everybody I guess has those we could go back to Brendan's draft. I do want to go back to Brendan's draft because
yes.
Eli Manning. Eli Manning was the 3rd quarterback taken in this league. There were no quarterbacks kept. So the quarterbacks that went off the board were Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Eli Manning.
Eli Manning isn't even that good.
No, Eli Manning had an
He's
awful
horrible.
year. He had an awful year.
No, he's just a horrible quarterback.
Don't let Brendan hear you say that.
Brendan, Eli Manning is a horrible quarterback. He's the worst in the league. Probably worse than
No.
Hey, Mike, just something I wanted to say.
What?
I think week 15, Eli Manning had a better fantasy week than Tom Brady.
He did. The sad thing was Brendan would have been better off playing Eli in week 15 when he lost to
But I got trade raped.
Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna get to stupid webcast moments after this. So that may.
I bet I'm full of them.
I was just gonna keep going down the list. Mo took Josh Gordon 7th round. I don't know what she was thinking at the time.
Josh Gordon?
I still don't know. He's I believe in drug rehab somewhere.
Yeah, he is.
He is not going to be playing football ever again, probably.
She might not have knew.
Everybody knew the problems he's been having.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the problems that he was having. All I cared about was he playing or not.
This is not news. I mean, sorry. More bad picks. I mean, this 8th round was pretty terrible. Some of these picks. Justin Forsett by Rob. Kevin White by James. The Kevin White.
Kevin White I took a shot on.
I know.
Dorial Green Beckham.
Dorial Green Beckham was even worse. I don't get it, Chris. I don't get it.
Wait. Can we move on to the 9th round?
Yes, we are going to move on to the 9th round because I would like to point out, and I know the Tom Brady thing. Good pick, James. Guess who Justine took as her quarterback 2 picks before Tom Brady?
Wow.
Blake
Bortles. Justine.
Sports.
I didn't realize that until I just saw it. Justine, how did you take Bortles? Is Justine there?
Yes.
How did she take Bortles over Brady?
There you go.
Oh God.
I think I had.
Holy shit.
Okay, so in my defense, Bortles last year was actually pretty consistent.
Put over Tom Brady.
Brady was suspended the first 4 games this year.
So let me get to B, which was I already had a keeper that was going to be out for the first couple games yet again. So I didn't want to have to worry about another handcuff. to get me through those first weeks by taking somebody else that was going to be having a suspension.
But Larry said he had handcuffs.
Shut up.
So that was my big thing. I didn't want to have 2 starters suspended.
You could have picked up Drew Brees.
To be fair, if she had taken Brady, she would have just lost even worse in her playoff game. So,
But she could have
That's
took Drew Brees.
Hey, Tom Brady's a hell of a backup, let me tell you.
you barely even played him.
Cocaine's
I
a hell
know.
of a drug.
I know you barely had to, but I will compliment. I'm just continuing to move down. I will compliment a couple of picks. One, like Garrett Blunt in the 10th round, Joe. That was the type of picks that got you deep into the season.
Because nobody thought he was going to be the top back.
I know. And Tevin Coleman went to pick after that for James, which ended up being a pretty decent pick. Coleman had a decent year.
That he did.
But
What?
I wanted
Yeah.
to get, yes, Larry, Isaiah Crowell, outstanding pick.
My boy. Feed the crow.
Mike, where's that draft board at?
Thank God. What's that?
Where's that draft board at?
I sent the link.
I don't have.
I didn't see no link.
It's in the group chat.
What group? There's a group
We
chat?
have a group chat?
In
It's
the
on the
Google,
side.
on the side of the Google
I'm on my phone. I don't
Hangouts
have
window.
that.
Well, that's too bad. I will say this much with the quarterbacks that went earlier. The 12th round, 4 quarterbacks were drafted: Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford, Jameis Winston.
Wow.
Which is pretty ridiculous considering you had Carson Palmer and Blake Bortles and Eli Manning and going like 5+ rounds earlier. And Joe drafting Jimmy Graham ended up being an outstanding move again.
No matter how much heat I took from Mike on that one.
Yeah. 13th round, Justine taking Spencer Ware. Very good pick.
That was good.
Yeah, really good pick, especially with people taking kickers in that round.
Like who?
The pick before Spencer Ware was Steven Gostkowski.
By which team?
John.
When did Brendan take his kicker?
Yeah, in the same round, as did Joe.
Dustin.
It's always one person. Once one person takes a kicker, then there's like 4 people that follow.
I usually wait a couple rounds and I take one.
Well, yeah, you guys. Well, no, Brendan panicked because John, he has to have Gostkowski every year, and John stole him from him. So Brendan's got, I got to get my kicker now before all the good ones are gone.
What do you mean? I used to have Gostkowski before John did.
Yeah, I know. But
wait a minute. Are we really making fun of Brendan right now?
We are making fun of Brendan.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
you can join in anytime you want.
I also forgot this pick in the 12th round, the Giants defense, which in the end. The Giants defense ended up being decent this year. But they still shouldn't have been taken in the 12th round.
But who could forget Brendan's backup kicker pick?
We're getting there. His backup kicker's coming down. 14th round, there really wasn't any good picks. We're at the point where the picks other than, well, look at Larry's 16th and 17th round picks. Now,
I can't see it, Mike.
So 16th round, Larry. You drafted Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
Awesome pick. I remember at the draft you drafted Tyrell Williams, and I had no idea who he was. So much so that he wasn't even on my list, and I think I shouted that at you when you drafted him.
But it's Larry's boy!
He is my boy.
As was his 17th round pick, Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
That's his boy!
I love how Larry drafted the only 2 Cleveland Browns worth anything this season. That's amazing.
The Cleveland Browns were worth something?
The Cleveland Browns are... Joe, you haven't watched football this year. Well, you don't need the Cleveland Browns are bad. Actually, the 16th round ended up having Jordan Howard went in the 16th round. John took him, which was a very lucky pick. We can't even call that a good pick because he had no idea Jordan Howard was going to go crazy
Yeah.
like he did.
He was with Cleveland. Nobody expected it.
Yeah. And there was, well, I would say taking Dak Prescott in the 18th round would have been a lucky pick if I hadn't dropped him after he lost one game. But
Stop acting on impulse, Mike.
well, no, he looked like crap in one game. I didn't want to.
You gotta give him a little bit of a chance.
Right, and stupid.
How do you think I got so far?
And you know, I dropped him to pick up the Carson Wentz of the Eagles because Carson Wentz had a great game against the Cleveland Browns of all teams.
Mike, don't I remember you saying that I will never draft an Eagle for as long as I play?
You haven't. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure you said that.
Yeah. Well, that lasted all of never. I started to get smart with fantasy football, so.
I mean, this was the first year you didn't pick up Tony Romo.
No, because Chris Birthright auto-picked Tony Romo. Otherwise, I would have totally taken him. Actually, no, and I didn't have him last year either because Monique stole him from me, which was fine because he got hurt. But
That's awesome.
And best 19th round pick is easily Anquan Bolden, by the way.
And did you see what happened when Monique didn't pick up, Tony Romo this year? Her team did better.
Yeah, but she still took a Cowboy first overall. So.
But she picked up a better Cowboy.
Yeah,
not Tony
nobody
Romo.
was gonna. That's a whole nother thing, the whole Romo issue.
He's going to Denver next year.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So, all right. So, just because after going through everything and going through the entire season, I wanted to see who everybody picked as the absolute worst owner this season. I'm talking about like not just a draft, but the entire season. Who was just a complete disaster.
There's one.
You have to pick one. You got to narrow it down. There was a lot of. You got to only pick one.
Yeah, I agree with Larry, Mike.
All right. Well, I'll let you throw some honorable mentions in. Then.
Fuck, that's tough.
Does anybody want to start?
I give the
Because
floor
I don't
to
want to start either. I don't want to go first.
I'll start. Mike, I'll start.
Go ahead.
It's me.
You. Why are you picking? You have no self-confidence.
He doesn't.
I don't.
I love it. You win the championship, and you're just like, I'm the worst owner.
Because I'm the luckiest owner.
I will say this much, James. I will say this much. Your team is definitely not one of the best teams to win a championship.
This is true.
With that said, your team's still better than Larry's championship team from 5 years ago.
What?
Good.
Dude.
At least I have some honor in winning a championship.
Larry, you basically had to skirt the rules to win that championship. You played 4 running backs in the championship.
Skirt the rules? Well, the rules.
He played C.J. Spiller as a wide receiver.
No.
Wait, C.J. Spiller was a wide receiver?
The year Larry won, C.J. Spiller was a running back / wide receiver. Yes,
what the fuck?
He was like a better Ty Montgomery. He was excellent. He was an excellent.
He was like a Ty Montgomery on steroids, I guess.
Yeah. In any case, he basically played 4 running backs through the playoffs. It was just garbage. You basically had a.
It was awesome.
Your whole team was Tom Brady and Jordy Nelson, and then you got lucky at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Jordy Nelson.
Yeah, that was all you had. That was it.
Yeah.
That team stunk.
No, it was good. And
No,
I
that
beat
team
Wells
stunk.
too, I think.
Yeah, Beanie Wells was not good.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He's great!
Oh.
God.
Joe,
That's
do
just
you
me
want
laughing.
to just at bad owners this year?
Oh, it's tough. I mean, I'm going to go with James's best friend in Brendan.
Brendan. I like how Brendan gets to the second round of playoffs. He's worse. So you're saying he's still bad, but
Awesome.
the pit.
He only made it because of Tom Brady.
He didn't have. Well, yeah, and Antonio Brown. Yeah.
Yep.
It's hard. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. That draft was so bad. I will say this much, Brendan. In terms of how bad the draft was, Brendan was there. But I don't know if Brendan had the worst draft or if Chris had the worst draft. Because Chris, it's funny. Brendan was like picking names randomly out of magazine. It felt like Chris was doing something similar.
And here, I thought Chris knew what he was talking about. At least with football, anyway.
Well, I think he does. I think it was just one of those really weird occurrences.
Maybe we should, make sure he's not using a hockey magazine next year.
I will say this too. Woj's team. I don't know if it was bad luck or just his drafting was dreadful.
I think Woj got hit with bad luck this year because his team's never been that bad.
I think he had one year. It was similar. It was a similar type of scenario. I mean, but I mean, he made some really. I thought he made some bad, silly picks. He really didn't have. I'm scrolling down his list. He didn't. The only good pick I think he had the whole draft was Stafford, and that was about it.
That was a good pick.
Yeah, Stafford had a good year.
What's your definition of good? Top 10, top 20, bottom 50?
I'm going to say something really stupid, but I'll get to it at the end because I don't want to get yelled at right now. No, you guys can yell at me later. Stafford had a really good year. Woj, Chris, and Brendan are the three guys that sticks out to me. If James hadn't won a championship, I'd put him in there. But considering, well, James basically went with the most unconventional strategy ever and won with it. So now he basically turned fantasy football completely upside down, or just proved Brendan's theory that it's luck. But I don't know. It's one or the other.
I mean, my only other pick would have been Glenn. I mean, how do you score the most points in the league and completely miss the playoff?
Ooh. Burn.
That's just bad luck. That's just Glenn. I still think that was just like the fantasy football gods basically telling Glenn, this is what you get for flipping people off with your logo.
They get cut off every time.
Right. Every time somebody looks at Glenn's team, he's flipping you off.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
I have a serious question.
Yes.
Did I set the record for most team name changes this year?
I don't keep track of that, unfortunately.
Why not?
I can. Well, I can. Now that I thought about it, though, I can check. Let's see how many.
It was at least 6 or 7.
I do want to see how many lineup changes you made this year.
Oh, there was too many. I think I had like 70 acquisitions or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not talking acquisitions. You were in the 60s or 70s. I'm talking about lineup
That's more than I've had in like the last 3 years.
Larry and Justine, do you have any input on bad owners?
For me, it's tough torn between Chris and Brendan. Birthright. Brendan. But I don't know which one's worse. That's the problem.
Chris, I almost lean towards Chris because Chris was playing Michael Floyd, Dorial Green, Beckham, Nelson Aguilar all season at wide receiver. And
that's true.
Never.
He at least tried in the draft.
I think Chris, once he lost his first few games, he just decided to tank.
Yeah.
Tank on purpose. I don't think he was trying to win after the first month of the season. And that's his decision.
Yeah. Could have won. He still could have came out on top. Could have made some trades.
Now, I hope karma bites. I kind of hope karma bites him for losing all those games, and he loses the lottery in the summer.
That would be hilarious.
That would be something else. That would be hilarious.
What's my percentage for the lottery?
What's what?
You know what the percentages are?
I do not off the top of my head, and I am not looking them up tonight.
Damn it.
Sorry. That's 6 months away. I'm not. After tonight, I'm done with fantasy football for the next 6 months. Sorry.
But it's
Liar.
after tonight.
What's that?
Liar.
So let's live for tonight, Mike.
Justine, do you have any bad owner?
So I definitely agree. It's definitely between Brendan. I'm gonna go with Birthright for multiple reasons. First, because like you said, he kind of gave up and didn't really try that hard, or at least I hope he didn't try that hard for the rest of the season. Like he didn't really do anything in terms of trading or anything like that. Just for maintenance, like nothing. And above all else, he's probably the biggest jerk out of everybody. So, got my vote.
James, what the heck are you doing?
Are you in a wind tunnel, bro?
No, I'm just fucking around.
All right, so I have the number up here. So James, I just want to put this in perspective. So as far as players acquired, Larry was second most with 37. He picked up 37 players this year. That's a lot, Larry. Glenn was third. Glenn was third with 23 pickups.
Yeah.
Nobody else had more than 20 except for Glenn, Larry, and James. James had 69 players acquired.
I probably had the fewest, didn't I?
Off a free agent.
You did not, Joe.
Oh, wow, I didn't.
And you're actually not even in the bottom half of players
Wow.
picked up. Now, lineup changes. Second most lineup changes actually went to Brendan with 88. Larry was third with 87. One lower.
Fuck!
Yeah. Larry, you used the IR spot so many times this year. So, all right. So everybody except for Larry, nobody used the IR spot more than 3 times. Larry, you used injured reserve. You had 10 different injured reserve players this year.
No, my team was decimated at the beginning.
I know, but it's just incredible.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I had Dez, Charles.
Oh,
I forget who else.
This is going to be a quiz. Name all of Larry's injured players.
Fuck, there's a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to the lineup changes, Brendan had the second most with 88. James, and I think this is a record for you. I'd have to go back and check. James, 249.
Damn.
249.
wow.
If you average that out over like a 16-week season, I'm pretty sure that basically means that you're making more lineup changes than lineup spots.
Probably.
Your lineup at least 1.5 times a week.
Mike, the Super Bowl week, you must have changed his lineup about at least 16 times.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually, that brings up a good story for like stupid moments of the season. I think I was texting Joe on Christmas Eve about an hour before the game started, and I was saying, yeah, this is what James's projection is based on his lineup. And then I refreshed the page, and half of James's lineup is different than what it was 2 minutes prior.
That is awesome.
Like, it's just incredible. As you may expect, Chris actually had the fewest lineup changes because, as Justine said, he really didn't seem to do a whole lot. He only changed his lineup 31 times, which, considering how bad his team was, shows you the effort he put in.
I mean, if Chris wants to give away his money, he doesn't have to play fantasy football. He can just give it to us.
He could just give it to us.
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice. I will say, Joe, and I guess this is just a testament to how good your team was. You had the second fewest lineup changes at only 36.
Yeah, I know. I usually don't make changes unless I have to.
You didn't really have to this year. not at all. All right, so I wanted to wrap up with webcast.
Oh, God.
First year we did the webcast. So I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. For me, I would say this much: the best webcast, at least I was on all of them, obviously. The best one we did had to be the Brendan and James showdown the night before Thanksgiving.
That was hilarious.
That's week 12. If anybody
I
wants to
missed
go
half
see
of that.
it, you missed all the good parts, Joe. You came in
Yeah.
late. That was just
Hilarious.
I
That was awesome.
I don't even know where to start because Brendan was just such an asshole. Such an asshole.
Well, I guess that's why he calls himself Brendan Fighting Irish, right?
Well, it's just Brendan. It's just Brendan. I will say this, and I mean this is kind of already knowledge. Brendan is hosting next year the draft, the 2017 draft.
I'm not allowed
next
in
year-
this house. I can already tell.
Next year is
And that's all the more reason to go. You can play head games.
next year it's supposed to be in South Jersey. We've been rotating every other year, and I've promised him the draft. So he is going to be
But I
hosting.
thought the Super Bowl champ was supposed to pick where unless he didn't want to and somebody wanted to host.
Yeah, no, I tossed that rule out immediately. Because then we'd have people, asking to draft, like, I don't know, probably in the casino at the roulette table. Larry.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Hey,
I'm not paying to go to the casino to host the draft.
Hey, just
What about Buffalo Wild Wings? Rent a draft area.
Do you know how much they charge for those packages?
No idea.
It's a fortune. It's too much money.
yeah.
So we'll go to Skeeter's, that bar that Brendan hates, and we'll draft there.
Yeah.
Hey, just so that everybody knows, as a peace offering, because I plan on going down to Brendan's house for the draft.
Oh boy.
I am bringing a 12-pack of beer just for Brendan.
You might want to get his favorite kind.
What?
But he's Irish, so that might not matter.
Nah, I don't think it matters with Brendan.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
What?
I did
Having beer or the type of beer?
The type of beer.
Okay.
I will say I did tell Brendan he has to let you in the door, James. He can't make you draft from outside. So.
And what was his response?
Yeah, I just told him he kind of just brushed the whole thing off.
All right, good.
Now he's gonna hate you, Mike.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah, it is.
James, any go ahead.
No, he does understand that I mean well.
Yes, I know.
No. I know you know, but does he know?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I don't think Brendan knows. James, do you have any favorite webcast moments?
Wasn't there one or two times where I wore a hat or something?
Yes.
Was it a tequila hat or a
I
Giants
thought it
helmet?
was like a James Bond hat.
Oh, don't give me that much credit.
Or no, damn it, what was it? Indiana Jones hat, that one.
Yeah, that might have been the tequila hat.
Okay, I remember this now.
Or what about the one time I was drunk on this?
One time?
Oh yeah, there was. That was bad too. That was the other bad one. I believe that was the night you were doing all kinds of impressions.
God.
Might have been.
Was that the same?
I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
The night you were doing impressions of Stephen A. Smith. It was only you and me on here, and you were doing Stephen A. Smith impressions with every game.
Hold on.
Oh God, here we go.
Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers?
No,
Are we talking about Aaron Rodgers? Because Aaron Rodgers, he's a bad man.
I screwed up. James wasn't drunk when he said that when he was doing those impressions. I was wrong. Joe, do you have any favorite memories from the season?
I don't know, because apparently I wasn't on for all the awesome, fun moments.
Oh,
You
no.
weren't. You missed all the good ones.
Joe, what about the one where you were in Hawaii and you kept showing us how beautiful Hawaii was?
Oh, that's
But then there was some
unforgettable time.
asshole like mowing the lawn and we wanted to like throw stuff at him.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the worst.
That was funny.
I loved it. I was just sitting out in the
Guy mowing the
sunlight.
lawn in the background.
I was in Pearl Harbor.
I remember that.
Or that time where Justine called out Larry and Justine won the division and, you know.
Well, there was also the time Justine blasted me for scheduling. How many times she called me out for scheduling them the two of them week 13?
True.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Or what about all the times I blasted you for saying I was going 3-10 with all my team names?
So I don't want to bring up that. I don't want to bring up.
I think everybody else thought that was kind of funny in this video chat right now.
I don't want to bring up any of my August predictions.
That was kind of funny.
Oh, but Mike,
why not, Mike? I feel like that's a funny contribution to the year. Yeah. Hey, why don't you show us all these predictions?
Hey,
Glenn's winning the championship. Joe and I suck. Larry and Justine can't do anything with their fantasy teams. Mike, you're going to lose to Glenn. Mo, she's going to be division champ.
I never said that.
No, I know. I'm just
sure?
putting words in your... Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Joe, James, and Justine, the three people that won their divisions, I predicted them to win a combined like 9 games. But, you know.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was off.
How do you like us now?
Larry and Justine, any favorite moments?
I liked the
showdown.
I like the Chris James special delivery when Glenn bought him the headphones.
Thank God.
Oh no, that was hilarious. You know what this? Wait. Side note. You know what's funny about that? Glenn texted me about 5 days before he sent it.
Was he flipping?
I thought it was going to be an invitation to his wedding. And I was like all excited. And then like I come home and I'm like, wow, this is a pretty big package from Glenn. And I'm saying to myself, must be a really big invitation, but no, it's fucking headphones. And I'm like, God damn it, Glenn. I'm just like, God damn it. And then 2 weeks later, they broke because he bought the cheapest fucking ones. Because he's a fucking, whatever the hell he is, Lebanese pizza. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh, was that the cheap headphones that he sent you?
Yeah. But that's Glenn. He's just cheap.
And then they didn't work?
No, they worked for like a week, but then after that, Mike's just like, what the fuck happened? Why do I keep getting kicked off?
Isn't that like the charging cable that he sent Mike?
Yeah. When I left my my monitor cable at Glenn's, and so he tried to buy me a new one off Amazon, and I got it, and it didn't work. So he had to mail it back to my original one.
That's oh my God, that's too damn funny.
So Glenn,
see, when it comes to Glenn, you can't trust him.
By the way, James, I have a new favorite moment from the season. It was that story you just told right now.
All right, you're welcome.
Justine, do you have anything?
No, I honestly just loved. I'm upset that we weren't there, but I don't think it would have happened if we were there. But that brawl between you and Brendan was probably the funniest shit I have ever listened to in my life.
Yeah, that was a good listen.
Yeah.
Well, he's now on YouTube for the world to see.
Do it again. Was that funny?
Yeah, that one. If I ever get bored and edit like a best of video, that would easily like be like
The
be
grand finale.
yes.
Oh my god.
I mean, that was just.
That was awesome.
I was just sitting there, and I don't think I said a word for about 15 minutes.
You were laughing. I heard some laughs and like some oofs.
I think like once in a while you would make like just like a very quick comment, but they both just kind of ignored you and kept bickering.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I don't even that definitely tops them all. We're done. We've been on for more than an hour now.
Oh, boo-hoo.
10:15.
Aww.
We're done until next year.
Sweet.
Thank God. Honestly, I need a good 9 months to take a break and recuperate.
9 months. 9 months will be 3 weeks into next season.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like the past 3.5 months being on this video chat, it's been stressful. I mean, I don't know if
come on here,
dude, but I don't, but I have to because apparently I'm this entertaining with whoever. And my liver can't take it, my head can't take it. It's very stressful. I mean, my brain cells have died out. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough life, and I'm doing this for free.
If anybody should be paid, it's me. To put up with all the rest of the 11 clowns.
Yes, you know what, Mike? I damn well agree with that. You are absolutely right, Mike.
In any case, so next year we'll be back. We'll probably do this again as long as my schedule allows for it.
We should do a We should do a keeper video chat, like going into the draft.
We did last year, and you didn't show up.
I don't remember.
Oh. Well, okay.
We did do that. We did do that, and
we got our subscribers back.
It must have been by invite only.
That was the day our buddy Serino showed up and commented for the first time.
You think he'll come back next year?
Well, we want you back, Serino. I think that's how he says his name. Guy with the coffee mug.
If he still watches.
Yep. So next year we'll be back. Next year is the 10th year of the league, which is
wow.
Yeah. For a few of us,
we're old.
Yeah. With the exception of Justine, all the 4 of us on here were in the league in 2008, which is the first year we did this. Which is pretty incredible.
We know you missed Craig not being in the league.
I don't. That would be. I think we should do next year. Just to wrap this up, we should do talking about funny moments, going back back to 2008 moments. Just because 2008, the one moment I remember is the other Mike that was in the league in 2008 with his Adrian Peterson rant.
There was another Mike in the league.
Oh, Uber face.
Yes.
Yeah. And how he got pissed off at me for picking up whatever the fuck his name is. Daymore.
Oh.
The whole that's
Steve. I don't know what time are.
Because he told you to pick him up and then you did, and he got mad at you for beating him to him.
Yeah.
Because he didn't realize you were picking earlier on waivers, because
That's awesome.
Which is stupid. Anyway, we'll do that another time. That's it. We're done.